Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So earlier this month I had 7 rolls of Vision 3 film to develop, and while trying new chemistry I figured why not to film a video on how I develop ECN2 film. Film that has a ramjet layer and it generally cannot be processed in your local film lab. Although more and more film labs, as I've noticed, start to offer development of ECN2 film. I already have a bunch of videos about Vision 3 film. I'm gonna attach playlist somewhere here, I think. By the way, if you are in Seattle, I know one film lab that offers ECN2 processing. It's Moody's Film. I personally have not used them, but my friends did, and they really liked the results. I have no relation to this film lab. They don't even know that I exist, and I'm making this video and mentioning them, so by any means, this is not an advertisement whatsoever. I'm just sharing what I know. For the longest time, I have been using CineSteel Cine Simplified ECN2 kit for developing all of my ECN2 film. And normally, out of one kit, I was able to develop about 20 rolls of film. But probably starting this year, I have noticed that I am not able to develop that many rolls out of one developer. I have not changed anything about my process. Maybe CineSteel have changed their formulas. I'm very curious what happened and why the chemistry does not last as much as it used to. This time I decided to try a Bellini ECN2. Bellini process seems a lot more complex versus CineSteel, but if you can follow the instruction, it's actually not that hard. So every time whenever I mix new chemistry, I use distilled water to extend their shelf life. Whenever I mix a photo flow or stabilizer, I use that tiny syringe to measure milliliters. And I use all of these final rinses as one shot. This process is very straightforward. All you do is warming up some distilled water, measuring it accordingly to the recipes, mixing it with concentrates, and transferring it into the bottles. Every time I mix new chemistry, I don't really put dates on the bottles. I prefer to keep a spreadsheet on my computer where I put the dates when my chemistry was mixed, and also keep records of how many rolls of film I already developed with this particular kit. So in future I will know when would be a good time to replace this whole chemistry kit. I also use the same container to mix my chemistry. I only use the disposable wooden sticks to mix it. But other than that, I do use the same container and the same funnel. I just wash everything in between each solution, so there's no cross-contamination. I have been doing this since I started to develop my own film, and I honestly didn't have any problems with that. So when everything is mixed, I put it into warm water with sous vide to keep everything at the right temperature. This 7-step process. First, there is pre-bath. I was actually very impressed with it. It removes ramjet almost at 100%. After pre-bath, I wash the film a few times until water runs clear. Now it's ready to be developed. There goes developer. Development time is 3 minutes for first 6 rolls of film. It is recommended to increase development time to 3 minutes and 30 seconds, starting from roll number 7. After developer, we got stop bath. It's continuous agitation for 30 seconds. After that, there is a short 30 seconds wash cycle. Then there goes bleach. Bleach time is 3 minutes, and it also requires continuous agitation. After the bleach, there is another wash cycle for 1 minute. Then there goes fixer for 2 minutes, again with continuous agitation. After the fixer, you're supposed to wash film for another 2 minutes and then use final rinse for 10 seconds, aka stabilizer. But I actually decided to experiment and I have scrubbed one roll, put it into final rinse and hang it to dry. All of the other rolls, since I don't really see the ramjet, it's not there anymore, so I guess I don't need to manually wash each roll. So I decided to skip the step, put everything into final rinse, hang it to dry, and then when I started scanning my negatives, I started seeing the remains of this threaded ramjet layer. It was so annoying. I had to manually rewash all of the rolls, putting all of them through final rinse in PhotoFlow and hanging them to dry again. When I scanned the roll that I actually manually washed, there was no ramjet remains. Even though there's no recommendation of manually removing the remaining of the ramjet layer, you still have to do it because there is a big chance it's gonna show when you'll be scanning your negatives. So learn on my mistake, still wash your film manually. The most challenging part out of whole development process for me personally is a PhotoFlow stabilizer final rinse type of thing, and precisely the removing of the excess water from my negatives. I don't really get watermarks issue on my 120 rolls, but I often get them on my 35mm rolls. So far I have tried to use squeegee tool and sometimes I still get those watermarks. I have also tried to run film through my fingers. That method did not really work as well as squeegee tool, for example. I have also tried to not touch film at all. I just like shake out the roll and hang it to dry. So far this method was the worst watermarks wise. This time I actually have tried to run the roll through paper towels, the ones that don't really leave any dust or paper pieces on the film. It looks pretty barbaric, I know, but it worked. Most likely I'll be sticking to this method unless I come up with something else.